Okay, to recap some of what we heard last night and to look ahead to tonight, let's bring in former MP and Deputy Leader of the Conservative Party of Canada, Lisa Raitt. Thanks so much for joining us on CTV News Channel this afternoon.
Good to be here, Scott.
What did you make of Pierre Poilievre's performance at the debate last night in the French language debate?
His French is impeccable. I mean, there's not many other conservatives who are Anglophone that can beat Pierre when it comes to that perfection that he has. So he held himself very well. He got some policy points out there. He looked comfortable. He looked comfortable talking about his issues. He looked comfortable trying to draw distinctions between himself and Mr. Carney. He had a few shots that he got in there, but certainly it was a very muted affair, is what I would say with respect to the debate. I'm hoping to see a little bit more rough and tumble tonight.
The polls have been showing that there are still lots of undecided voters out there, and advanced voting begins this weekend. If they haven't been convinced by any messaging yet, what might Poilievre need to do differently, particularly tonight? As I said, advanced voting begins fairly soon, to target that specific batch of voters.
You are correct. This is the weekend when people solidify where they are in terms of voting in the election. And it's not uncommon that 2 weeks out from an election, that's when people settle. They move from the undecided column over into whichever column they're going to choose to vote for. So the debates are important, and the media around the debates are important as well. So tonight, what Mr. Poilievre should do is try to make sure that he's showing people not only what it is that Mark Carney has done in the past, which is what the Liberals want people to see, you know, his resume, but he also has to try to show who Mr. Carney actually is. And that's a way for him to try to shake where the popular vote seems to be right now, which is with Mr. Carney. And Mr. Poilievre has to try to add a little bit of doubt, I guess, into the minds of people as to whether or not their vote with Mr. Carney is the right way to go.
You mentioned you're hoping for a little bit more rough and tumble tonight, maybe a bit more sparring. What do you think will be the defining issue of the night?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't know yet. I think the Conservatives are going to definitely hammer on Mr. Carney with respect to ethics, with respect to disclosures, with respect to conflicts of interest, stuff like that. I think Mr. Carney is going to stick to trying to talking about his policy and that he's the best one to take on Mr. Trump. But I'll tell you why I want to see a little bit more passion in there. It's because we are going into possibly the most difficult negotiations we're ever going to have in our entire lives. And I want to see somebody stand up for the country and do it forcefully, not in a grandiose kind of way and not in a combative way, but very strong, very firm, where you know exactly where you stand. That's what I want to see tonight from all the candidates.
And as we see by the countdown clock, we are just under 3.5 hours away from that debate. Lisa Raitt, former MP and Deputy Leader of the Conservative Party of Canada. Maybe a bit more rough and tumble tonight. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Scott.